woke up on this beautiful island. We're just finishing up breakfast here, and the plan, I think, at this point is just to kind of leisurely pack up camp. I'll do my daily inspection on the aircraft. We'll eventually get going. And the plan is to get back to Buffalo. It's forecasted here for the rest of the day to be VFR and beautiful up in the Georgian Bay. Check that the weather around Toronto and Buffalo is the same, but it should be similar to what it is here. So we'll get packed up and go.
So while Becky packs up, let me tell you how we got to where we are right now. So a few days ago, we departed from Buffalo, crossed the border, cleared customs, and then headed north into the Canadian wilderness. Now we had 15 spots pre-chosen of potential campsites that we based on the Crown land maps, which told us what was public land and what wasn't. So we have now 3 solid days of camping under our belt, and we could stay for a few more, but they're gonna be pretty stormy, wet, windy. So we thought, you know what, let's call it a trip and head back home.
We left the last airport with a full tank of fuel, and I know that we have just under 3 hours at maximum burn rate, so we're just keeping a running stopwatch, and right now we're at 1 hour and 50 minutes, about 30 minutes to the airport that we want to hit next. We're well under our fuel capacity. Those are the kind of things you have to think about, because it's not like you're going from point A to point B, we're going from point A to some random island. And like yesterday, we didn't know if it was going to be a 20-minute flight or if it was going to be an hour and a half flight. Yeah, these are the fun trips, right? Like you just head north, right? just head into the islands and just find random places, and oh, where are we gonna end up today? Who knows? This to me is like the best use case for motor wing aviation, like doing kind of stuff like this. This is what it's all about.
Daily inspection is done. We are good to fly. It's about 30 minutes south to Huronia, which is the airport we fueled up before we entered the Georgian Bay area. If we time it right, it'll work out perfectly, because from Huronia to Buffalo, where we clear customs, it's about 1.5 hours. If we call customs as soon as we land, and by the time we refuel, bathroom breaks, things like that, and get up in the air, it's probably gonna be about a half-hour break. So it should be about 2 hours, and we have to call customs 2 hours ahead of time. I also have to file my electronic APIS, which is telling Homeland Security that we are entering the country again. We'll also do a double check of the weather to make sure that the weather's gonna hold for our destination, which I'm sure it will, but again, always checking the weather.
Ready to go?
Let's do it.
Are we ready?
Yep, seatbelts fastened, doors closed and latched. Below this popsicle stand. Wow, 21.5 to hover. Now, wind is coming from that direction. Normally I'll take off into wind. There's obstructions over there, so it's probably better to go around kind of a little creep out this way. Partially into wind here, and we'll circle around the back end of the island.
Oh, perfect. Now, having that airflow is nice.
Yeah. Wow, beautiful blue sky. Clear day.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool islands.
Yeah.
Hey, that's our island. Ontario Palm Tree.
Oh yeah, look at
Wow,
that.
there's a few tents on there now.
Wow, we had the place for ourselves for the weekend.
What a nice day.
Beautiful day.
Nice flying over the water.
Yeah. Smoother.
Yeah, it's way smoother. I bet it's going to be super bumpy getting over to Ontario.
Going from Huronia, we're going to actually go west of Toronto. This part of the trip doesn't even feel the same as the first part of the trip.
I know, right? Also, it feels like we've been gone for a week. Funny when you really slow down.
Yeah.
Like when you don't have a lot on the go, like time drags.
Yep.
When you're busy and trying to get a lot of stuff done in a certain period of time where you're like, this is my giant to-do list,
Right.
time flies. Crazy, as soon as you get over the like land here, it's so much more bumpy.
We're also climbing up a little bit higher too. Helicopter 300 Whiskey Zulu is west of Masaga Park, following the coast to the south en route to Huronia, 1,200. Huronia traffic helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu, 10 to the north, inbound. We're joining the downwind for 34, full stop, Huronia. Hey, you see any wind indicators?
Oh my gosh.
Or runway 3?
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we're going so fast. Why are we going so fast?
Descending. I'm only descending at 300 feet per minute.
Goes fast.
Just going 120, 115 knots, that's why you're
Oh, that's why.
See a sock?
It looks like it's coming, it's pointing that way.
Yeah, I think it's, I was thinking too, like a crosswind.
Yeah, man, it's some bumpy down here. Oh, it is a crosswind, isn't it?
Yeah, we're crabbing, but continually though. Huronia traffic helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu is clearly active, just setting down the pumps. Huronia.
We're in Huronia Airport, we just refueled, and this is the same airport that we stopped at when we were flying up. We've refueled,
And it's about an hour and a half till Buffalo. The daily forecast here is saying that it's going to be clear until about 1500, so 3 p.m., where there's going to be scattered thunderstorms. And scattered thunderstorms just generally means, if you look at kind of like a top-down view of a large swath of land, you'll have clumps of thunderstorms that will cover like 1/8 to 1/2 of the area. So it doesn't mean you can't fly, it just means you're going to be kind of potentially dodging little convective cells and things. So the visibility is going to drop to 3 miles, and it's going to be marginal VFR conditions for the rest of the evening. Also with thunderstorms. We're getting 80% chance of precipitation by 5 p.m. Let's just go straight home and we'll get in well before this weather even is an issue. All right, so I filed my electronic APIS. Now I have to call the local customs agent who's at Buffalo International Airport. Hey, this is Chris Nicholas from November 300 Whiskey Zulu requesting the right to land.
Okay, when are you coming in?
2 hours from now.
Stand by 1 month.
Thanks, so he's gonna retrieve my electronic thing that I guess gets sent to his computer.
2:30 local.
Correct. So we've got our APIS file, we've called customs. Now the only 2 left things that we have to do, we have to file a flight plan to make sure we're on an official, opened and activated flight plan. And we also have to be on with ATC, so we have en route radar services, or flight following as we call it in the US. Thanks guys.
Thank you. Let's go. We waited our 30 minutes and now we will hit our 2-hour window to Buffalo. We're gonna hop on the Heli and jet. Wait, no, that's not right. We're not jetting at all. Hop in the Heli and rotary-wing away. Hop in the Heli and
Beat the air into submission.
I don't know. Pinwheel. Hop in the Heli and pinwheel away.
All right, Midland traffic helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu is just lifting up adjacent to the pumps. I'm going to do a direct departure to the northwest, Midland.
Nice meeting you both, and thank you for coming in today.
Likewise, thanks for the hospitality. Midland traffic helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu is turning downwind for 34. We're doing a downwind departure to the south, Midland. I didn't realize it was called Midland. It's called Huronia this whole time. Hot, man.
Hot puppy.
Put in 124.025. Toronto Center helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu VFR request.
300 Whiskey Zulu, go ahead.
300 Whiskey Zulu is just departing Huronia Airport, Yankee Echo Echo, requesting a flight following to Buffalo, Kilo Bravo, Uniform Foxtrot.
300 Whiskey Zulu, squawk code 4705.
4705, Whiskey Zulu. This is more akin to flying in the US, just get a squawk code and just don't worry about any of the airports. A lot of the way that Canadians fly is, and this is kind of how I learned to do it, is you're basically just manually looking at all the aerodromes or the airports you're going to be flying over, and then they're all like kind of, untowered, I should say, airports. And you're basically just, okay, here's the next Unicom, here's the next frequency, and you basically punch it in and just, say, here I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing, and this is the altitude. So it's a lot more manual work. I feel like in the US, it's just, you hop on with approach from somewhere and they'll just hand you off. You just get flight following you wherever you're going. So our flight plan's filed. They're going to basically just route us through the west part of Toronto's Pearson's control zone. They're going to give me a new manifold pressure.
Yep. What is it? 23 degrees.
20 at 3,000.
22.1. Is that right?
That sounds right.
Okay. Wow, look at me doing that.
Yeah, that's so good. Mental math.
I'd use my fingers.
Ooh, atmospheric haze up here.
Yeah.
So Toronto Center just handed us off to Toronto Terminal as we're getting closer to Toronto Pearson. So you can hear the airspace is very busy. The guys just kind of talking to Porter, talking to all sorts of different airlines right now. Very busy. So as soon as I get a word in edgewise here, I can kind of say, hey, we're here, just checking in, continuing flight following. Toronto Terminal helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu.
300 Whiskey Zulu, Toronto Center.
300 Whiskey Zulu just wants to continue flight following. We're just past, just south of Borden now, and we're en route to Buffalo via the Skyway Bridge.
300 Whiskey Zulu, Roger. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to take you through Class C. As you get closer, you have to descend below Class C and go around it on your way to Buffalo there. Are you familiar?
Yeah, we're somewhat familiar. I'll stay below the shelf.
300 Whiskey Zulu, Roger, thanks. Toronto altimeter is 2975.
2975, Whiskey Zulu. They're too busy, we can't go through the Class Charlie, so we're going to have to basically just divert around. It's kind of like an upside down wedding cake, so we just basically either have to go around Toronto's area or we have to go below it.
Your iPad die?
No, but it's slow.
500.
Next one.
Zulu, I've lost your transponder there. You can just go on your own now. Just remain clear at Class C on your way to Buffalo. Just due to system restraints, we're not able to give you flight following today. I apologize for that.
Yeah, Roger, that's not a problem. I do have to pick up somebody on the other end going across the border, I guess, to be compliant. Who should I talk to then?
Yeah, you can stay on your code and just call Buffalo Approach as you get close there, 26.5, down by St. Catharines.
Oh, roger that. Okay, I will do that. Thanks. Am I ever going to go through a ring that says surface on my current course?
No, you're going to be staying outside of that.
Okay, so what's the lowest?
The lowest one is 17 to
1,700.
2,000. Bumpier down here.
Yeah. So that's why like understanding like chart sectionals
Yeah.
is important, right? Because like in understanding airspace, being able to like, you know, change things on the fly. What's our next shelf?
Our next shelf is 2,500 to 3,500.
So we're at 2,001. We're at 2,200 feet right now. So
Yeah, so you're good.
We don't need to like, you know, get down to 1,700 if we don't have to, right? Niagara District Radio, helicopter November 300 Whiskey Zulu.
Helicopter November 300 Whiskey Zulu,
November 300 Whiskey Zulu is just about 10 miles southwest of you guys. We're going to be crossing the border. I just want to hop on with en route radar services.
Whiskey Zulu, Roger, St. Catharines altimeter is 2975. Can you squawk 5377?
5377 2975, 0 Whiskey Zulu.
0 Whiskey Zulu, what was your departure point? Any destination?
Departure point was Charlie Yankee Echo Echo, and destination is Buffalo International, Bravo Uniform Foxtrot.
0 Whiskey Zulu, Roger, thank you.
Buffalo Approach helicopter, November 300 Whiskey Zulu.
300 Whiskey Zulu, Buffalo Approach.
300 Whiskey Zulu is about 4 miles southwest of Niagara Falls. We're inbound for you guys to clear customs. We're squawking 5377.
I got the 300 Whiskey Zulu, squawk 0424, altimeter 2982.
0424 2982.
I got the 0 Whiskey Zulu, radar contact 5 miles, actually 3 miles southwest of the falls, 1,600. Proceed VFR inbound to signature.
All right, Niagara Falls there on our left.
The sign that we are crossing said border.
Yes, the border's in front of us. Niagara River's the border, so our restricted area is right there. All right, back in the United States. Now we need to hear Google Maps saying, welcome to the United States.
Flying back into Buffalo to try to avoid some stormy weather that was on the horizon, and the winds were supposed to pick up significantly that evening as the storm came in. And even just landing at Buffalo International, we had, I think it was like 19 gusting 27.
Buffalo Tower, wind 240 at 19, gust 26. Landing at SAC Air at your risk, remain north of 23.
North of 23 at all times, 0 Whiskey Zulu.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hold, fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
On a wave.
That's 19 gusting 27 knots. So that's almost 60 kilometer hour winds. And that is bumpy.
Bumpy day in the helicopter. Getting tossed around. Getting so sick. I gotta stop filming, I think.
And you gotta be very vigilant on the controls as well. A single gust of wind can cause your aircraft to yaw sideways.
I'm just gonna move my mic.
I can hear you yelling.
As long as you do everything in a controlled fashion, you know, we can safely fly in those weather conditions, but you're working a lot harder and it's just less enjoyable because it's a bit bumpier.
Aggressive winds, man.
Holy, can we just like leave this here overnight and come get it at another point in time? Oh boy, oh boy.
On the ground!
Stick. My god.
That was a windy approach, man.
Dude, that was like, I feel like that was the worst wind we've ever experienced coming in anywhere.
Man, I had to work hard for that one. I was like constantly on the pedals. There was a lot of like quartering wind that blew out the tail rotors. That was like a lot of really aggressive pedal inputs that we normally don't have to do. Anyway, it happens sometimes.
Ugh.
You dealt with it better than you used to deal with it though. So we've landed at Buffalo International. The reason why we're landing here is because we had to clear customs. So we filed our electronic APIS. We've called them and told them we're going to arrive. We're a little bit off schedule. We're about 20 minutes late, but you're within half an hour window. They're usually okay with it. So then once we shut down here, they'll come out and they'll bring the little Geiger counter and they'll, you know, inspect the aircraft and ask you all their questions that they ask you, and then they'll say, okay, carry on. And then we'll fly the literally 2-minute flight south of here to Buffalo Airfield.
A helicopter is like a weather vane. Aerodynamically favors pointing into the wind. Wind up your arse. It's going to want to kick the aircraft left and right as it tries to achieve a more steady state.
Expectations are always going to be different from reality. And it's not that reality didn't meet or exceed expectations. It's just that these trips are always different. I mean, yeah, you can even choose the camp spot you're going to go to based on the maps ahead of time, but you're never going to really know what those campsites look like when you're actually on the ground. For this trip, I was very pleasantly surprised. I've never actually spent the night under the stars like we did that first night, and we had to fly off the tent. You could see the Milky Way above us. So between that and kayaking on crystal clear emerald waters, this was definitely a phenomenal trip. I just love looking for cool spots to land. It's one of the reasons why I always wanted to fly helicopters and why I love helicopters, is because it's really using the machine for its unique capabilities that nothing else can do. Like, no other machine can do that. And being able to land off airport and looking for cool off airport landings that are super fun, I just love doing that. Like, flying straight and level in a helicopter, yeah, it's fun, it's enjoyable. It's passively flying versus actively flying. You're doing so much more when you're scouting for these locations. You're flying low, you're gonna have to be way more alert. You're simultaneously looking for spots to land, assessing if they're feasible for landing. Okay, how's the surface look? Is there enough area? Is there debris on the ground? What's the approach path? Where's the wind coming from? You're thinking about all this stuff on the fly and trying to synthesize all that information. And all that activity is part of being a helicopter pilot. If it was all just flying from point A to point B from airport to airport, then I might as well fly planes. Flying a helicopter into the unknown and into places you've never been before, and likely not many people have been before ever, like, for me, like, that's what it's all about. I think this is probably one of the first helicopter trips, especially that we've been on, that didn't have any real big snags. Everything worked out. So I think we totally made the right decision and the right call getting out before the storms, because I think the next day there was massive storms that just ravaged the area we were in. We had 3 solid days. We got out before the weather got bad, and it was just an overall enjoyable trip.
I want a burger so bad.
Another trip in the bag.
Another series down.
Done.
Another one in the bag. Was it everything you hoped and dreamed for?
It was completely different than everything I had thought and everything I had planned.
They always are, though.
Yeah.
They always are.
Yeah, I would definitely do this again.
Thank you for watching. Bye! Anytime we're in the middle of nowhere, I always just wonder, it's like, what if this doesn't fire up? Like, what if we can't get this thing to start? We're so screwed. I mean, not as screwed as we would be in the wintertime.
Or if we didn't have any reception whatsoever.
Yeah, we got bars, so we wouldn't be screwed, but it would be inconvenient, we'll call it. Like homing IO 540 engine, very reliable.
Oh, don't jinx it.
I know, right now, hot.
God. It's that hot out.
It just dripped into my groin.